Tonight, we head back to another time, another place. A place that traces its roots back to the colonization of America. Racing has a long tradition in Virginia dating back to colonial English times. But tonight, we're not here to call steeplechase races. Tonight, we're here to unleash the 850 horsepower Monster Energy Cup cars that fight for it all here in the Simulation Stock Car Association. The drivers are ready and the championship is on the line for round 6 this evening. From Old Dominion, hello and welcome to another GSRC broadcast as we count down to green for the AdPro Cup Series tonight from Richmond Raceway. Way up in the press box to bring you all the action, yours truly here, Sean Ambrose, joined by my good old buddy Tanner Sharp. In a director's chair over there is the hardest working man in simulation broadcasting, Joe Peak. Armed with cameras located, aimed, zoomed, and focused by GSRC's camera guru, Dougie Beard. As cyberspace flows into your place over these 15 streaming award-worthy minutes, GSRC will bring you all the storylines and all the stats and facts you'll need to fully appreciate the 150 miles of simulated NASCAR Cup racing that will immediately follow. Tanner, tonight, buddy, it's time for a little short track racing under the lights. Why don't you fill in the fans about this grand old track?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a classic short track down in Richmond, Virginia, and it's a 3/4 mile that was built in 1946, a D-shaped asphalt track just located outside Richmond, Virginia in Henrico County. 14 degrees of banking here at Richmond with 8 degrees on the front stretch and 2 degrees on the back stretch. It hosts the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series and the NASCAR Xfinity Series, actually twice a season. Richard Petty, the King, holds almost every record imaginable: wins, laps led, season sweeps, winning streaks. It was announced in late 2017 that Richmond would move to the playoffs for the 2018 Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series. But to give us a little bit of a feel on what these drivers tonight will be experiencing, let's head to the GSRC lap guide around Richmond Raceway.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Global SimRacing Channel. I'm Brian Yazik and welcome to Richmond International Raceway. Fun little 3/4 mile short track in Richmond, Virginia. Without further ado, here's how we're going to get around this little joint. Richmond is tricky in the Cup car because the Cup car has a lot of high-end torque, so you're going to have to watch that wheel spin. For your hot lap, find this yellow line. This is going to be your best friend. Back into the gas, about 3/4, back onto the throttle. If you get onto it a little too early, you'll spin off the corner or get a little bit loose like I did right there. Back into 3 and 4, find the yellow line again. Roll it, back into the gas, heavy now. And there's your hot lap. Now, with Richmond, with the way that the tires burn off and the way that drivers just have totally different styles, you're going to see a whole lot of different things throughout the event. So, really the event. Back down into 1 again. Turn 1 doesn't really have a great braking point to follow. There's no light there. There's no stay for barrier start. So you really have to go by feel. I personally use the sound of the engine. When it gets to that certain sound, you know to roll out of it and get into the brakes. So what you also might see is guys start to run that second groove as the tires and fuel start to burn off. So you'll see them enter really wide, going in here into 1, floating through the middle, straddling that seam right there, then cutting down to the bottom. Once again, watching that wheel spin off the corner. Back down into turn 3, braking at the safer barrier, floating it through the middle here, letting it ride that seam, back into the gas, about 3/4, back into full throttle now, finally. And then that will complete your lap around here. So Richmond gives these drivers a lot of avenues to play in, and it's sure to be a good race, especially in the hot and slick sun. The nighttime event here tends to be a little bit more stable, but with the way that these drivers go, it's sure to put on a great show for us here today on GSRC. I'm Brian Yazik. Enjoy the show.
And our thanks to Brian Yazik getting the GSRC Chevrolet around Richmond Raceway without digging her up any. We appreciate that, Brian. Now, but before we get to the standings and the details, let's check in on qualifying that's underway now. Folks, there isn't anybody on track at the moment, but what I can tell you is sitting on the provisional pole, we've got Alan Elwood with a 21.080. Folks, David Washington, 8/1000ths of a second, 21.088. Tanner, not bad, but not enough.
Yeah, not bad, but not enough. But hey, guys, it has to give you some good confidence at starting on the front row practically. But I'm kind of a little bit of a shock in a fixed setup session, because look at the top two drivers. They're running flats compared to third place, who's Kyle Kamer, who ran 21.2s. So he's 2/10 slower than the top two drivers. So that's a very interesting lap time right there, in my opinion. But although lap times are relatively very close, especially on a night setting like this, with the weather sitting at an 84-degree track temperature, relatively cool here tonight, so it should provide the drivers extra grip, but handling could be a factor as the run goes on.
Yeah, it certainly can. This tire model right now certainly seems to fall off quite a bit. One thing we've seen over the last several weeks, though, here out of this group in the AdPro series is they seem to run the old tires pretty well. Yeah, everybody seems to fight the wheel towards the end of a run, but I don't know. This seems like a group that is used to running long stints of green flag racing, and it's been a lot of fun to watch. Why don't we take a look at the points battle now here, Tanner, and give you an idea where everybody's at. Andrew Ferrier sits there and first, and he's already got 13 playoff points racked up there. And Dylan Jones sitting in second right now. And it is a close battle right behind him there. William Roberts, David Washington, Alan Elwood. You see the points there. They're really, really close here in the field, but it's the playoff points and who's banked them already that really we should be concerned about. And our top four, Washington, Roberts, Jones, and Ferrier right now hold advantage with those very, very important playoff points. And Andrew Ferrier is with a couple of wins this season already. I said a couple. Is it more than a couple? No, it's a couple. With two back-to-back wins right now, he's out here tonight looking for a chance to maybe go 3 in a row, Tanner. And I wonder if you think maybe that's a possibility.
Yeah, it certainly is a possibility, and if you got a fast car and you're starting up towards the top 10, you certainly do got a shot. That's no mistake right there. But I do look at the cutoff line though. You got Ken Richardson, who's just 1 point off that cutoff line, and Josh Bonwell, who's just underneath that, and Jesse Abraham, who's 5 points off of that cutoff line, just outside looking in. So there's drivers. I mean, it's some tight points battles across the board, realistically, if you can really think about it. And tonight should be a real exciting race.
Well, let's talk about that race, Tanner. Why don't we go ahead and roll over the event details for everybody here real quick in the AdPro Cup Series?
Yeah, absolutely. So the event details here tonight, as you see on screen, the Gen 6 Cup cars these drivers are using, all setups are fixed. Tire alignments, 5 sets of tires for each individual team. So, and they got off-track officials to be keeping an eye on how many tires you're going to be taking. So keep an eye on that. 2 cause incidents will give you a disqualification. So if you cause 2 incidents on the racetrack, you're disqualified. And yes, there is a green-white checkered in the series. And no, iRacing did not come out with green-white checkered, #soon. But no, so after, if we do have a caution flag with 5 laps or less, top 10 drivers will have a 1 green-white checkered shootout. That's 2 laps to determine the winner and who's going to go to victory lane tonight.
And I really love what they're doing with the tires this season. They've got 5 sets allotted to them. That includes the 4 that are on the car right now here to start the race. So you already got 1 in the bank, basically, or 1 in the can, not in the bank. You've got 4 in the bank and 1 in the can. But it seems to have worked out so far. I know they started the season with just 4 sets. Boy, it was making that last segment pretty sketchy. And yes, folks, I said segment. We are segment racing tonight, and we've got 150 lap race tonight. Stage 1, 40 laps. Stage 2, 40 laps, and then our final stage of 70 laps. Now, we our data tells us we can do about 50 to 55 laps on a run of fuel. That will be a number that we probably won't worry about. If we get a nice run there in the final stage, maybe we could see them reach the the fuel limit. But I think here at Richmond, you're probably going to want those tires a little bit before 50 to 55 laps, Tanner.
Yeah, and sometimes if you do make an early pit stop, if you just time it just right, and we do stay green, that's kind of taking advantage of the field a little bit on time, because if you pit, and the longer the others stay out, the more you're going to gain time on them. So we want to keep that in mind as well. But 50 to 55 laps certainly seems short here, Richmond. But for 150 lap race tonight, see some pit stops. But I will promise you, if we do get a caution, expect drivers to come down pit road almost every pit stop, even the leaders.
All right, so 0.5 of a second separates first. Back to 15 cars have taken time right now. We've got 20 registered. Expect to see them on track. But that's 0.5 of a second over 15 cars. Not bad. 20 cars, not a bad number for a track of this nature. This track, whereas maybe it looks wide when you're looking at it through the camera lens, side-by-side racing here can be pretty tricky. The banking in these turns and just the nature of the surface of this track sometimes makes it a bit of a chore getting off of turn 4, Tanner. We've already seen several cars in practice tonight eating that safer barrier up there out of turn 4.
Yeah, turn 4 is it's a tough little corner to get off of. I think turn 4 and turn 2 are going to be the toughest corners to get off of, because if you lay the power bar down a little too early, it's either A, you're going to go to a spin, or B, you're going to get tight and push up into the wall and go for a spin. So, those are the two corners you really got to ease into the throttle until you realize your car is fully stabilized to get off that corner, and you can really power down that throttle. So, getting in the throttle, it's a rhythm racetrack, Sean. If you get into a rhythm here and stay in that rhythm, you'll find success here at Richmond.
Yes, sir. And another one of the things that makes turn 4 so tricky is the start-finish line is just outside of turn 4. You come up on it very, very quickly. If you don't nail execution there in turn 4, you have no time to really recover for a dash to the line. You're going to get eaten up by the cars chasing you. And boy, how many times have we seen that at Richmond over the years? Turn 4 is generally where it happens, or it doesn't happen, and you get guys, like I said, up in that safer barrier. But going to be an exciting race tonight. Like the conditions here, like you talked about before, not really that bad when we talk about an 83.2 degree track temperature. You would think that the tires have a little bit more life in them, but that's not what we've seen so far this season. When they've fallen off, they usually fall off somewhere outside of that 10 lap mark, and then the times tumble somewhere between a second and 2 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. The tire fall off, as you mentioned previously, Sean, is very significant here on iRacing, and as you said, it's going to fall off very quick. Usually, if you're doing a qualification time, usually you can only get one lap in, and then there's a significant difference, about maybe 3 to 5 tenths slower than what you originally ran. So that's how big the tires fall off here at Richmond or any other track oval on a NASCAR circuit. But here tonight, tires will mean a lot. And like I just said, everybody's going to come down for 4 tires in some way, shape, or form. You might get that one or a couple guys that will try to gamble on 2. But again, the handling is going to be very different.
All right, let's hand out our pole award here real quick. The Sim Speed Shot pole award winner. That is going to be Alan Elwood this week. Gets it by 8 one-thousandths of a second with a 21.080. Congratulations, sir. And that was well earned this week. Not easy getting that one. Like I said, the difference pretty blinding there. So congratulations to him. Tell you what, we could probably go to the grid as qualifying is now wrapped up. We've got 5 cars that didn't take a time, but that's all right. I believe they will be starting this race. I'm seeing them all reconnect now as the time winds down to qualifying. Let's go to our grid. On the front row, Alan Elwood, David Washington will start second in a number 98. Tanner?
Kyle Kamer will start in third, and Colin Solik will start fourth.
All right, row 3, Dylan Jones and Mark Wilsey.
Judd Danielson round in seventh, and he'll be side by side with Andrew Payne, who's starting in eighth.
All right, row 5, Josh Bonwell and Jesse Abraham.
Outside that top 10, we'll start Richard Regan Jr. and Eric Stanford.
Row 7, William Locklear and Ellery Queen.
Ethan Moore, the last driver to take qualification time, starts in 15th. He'll be back there with championship points leader, Andrew Farnyard.
And row 9 is going to be here with Gary Sexton and Joe Owen.
Stephen Llewellyn and Jeff Martin rounds out the 20 cars that'll start tonight's festivities.
Excellent. We've got a nice even number there, 20 cars. So here we go. Everybody coming to the grid now. Got just under a minute to get everybody here staged. Looks like we're waiting on Gary Sexton and Stephen Llewellyn to get back in here. And, you know, I talked about this earlier. One of the great things that we've seen so far in the AdPro 360 series is not a lot of cautions. And I keep mentioning this group of drivers. They just seem to have a real handle on the car and seem to be very comfortable with each other. And as I've come to find out through no one's, getting to know some of the guys, they've been racing together now for about 3 years. So, a pretty comfortable group, and it's shown here on the racetrack over the past several weeks.
Yeah, and you know, with 20 cars here, I kind of am now expecting some kind of green flag runs that would be happening. But I tell you what, these drivers I've watched here in AdPro every Thursday night, they're racing like they're pro drivers. I mean, heck, maybe even better than the pro drivers. I mean, they got a lot of talent behind the wheel. In the virtual sim of iRacing, it's crazy. I can tell you one thing: they're a lot better than what I am. That's for sure. I'm just a novice driver, but hey, these drivers know how to get it done. They know how to do the green flag racing. They know how to make the racing exciting, and I think we're going to see one here tonight.
All right, well, they get started rolling around. Alan Elwood and the Elwood Designs Chevrolet leads them off.
Yeah, Elwood's looking for his first victory of the season, so he's got on the pole tonight, so that's got to give him a good confidence boost, saying, I got the car to win.
Yeah, everybody always thinks they have the car to win. It's surviving these races that can be the trick sometimes. Watch out for Kyle Cameron tonight. He's been awful fast. He looking for a victory here also. The 16 to Dylan Jones back there will be fast, and he'll be one to watch out for. Mark Wilsey, the number 3, but it does not take long to get around here. We'll do one more trip around. The lights are out on the pace car. We're getting ready to go here at Richmond Raceway for 150 laps tonight, folks. 3/4 mile track is very tricky, and it generally takes no prisoners.
It doesn't take any prisoners, especially when you mentioned early on top of the show, spinning onto the inside wall into, that can ruin your day just like that, the snap of a finger.
All right, everybody get ready here. The Ford Mustang pace cars got them all lined up, ready to go. It's getting ready to peel off. There it goes, ducking into the pit lane, and Elwood takes them real slow, real ready. Still got them backed up, and there we go. Ready to unwind. Elwood gets away. Bringing David Washington with him. Nice start on the hammer quick. Elwood already gripping down on that yellow line. That's where the grip is here early.
Man, I tell you what, I'm trying to figure out who took it 3 wide right off the bat. I want to say that was 93 of Andrew Payne. I took it 3 wide right off the bat. I'm trying to figure out who he did that to. It was a green car, a bright green car.
Colton Salick, I think, is who you're referring to. He finally got down into line. But, boy, this group up front getting away here just a little bit. Elwood Washington starting to pull off. Almost got a second there on Kyle Cameron and Dylan Jones.
Yeah, Washington really keeping tabs right here, just right behind the number 5 of Alan Elwood coming off his turn number 2. That's 14 degrees of banking, folks, here at Richmond. As it's a short track, and it's a short track field. It's a short track field. I think it's a intermediate racetrack. That's for sure.
All the way in the back, Judd Danielson having a little bit of a tussle with William Locklear. Locklear looking to the inside. Danielson's trying to make something work on the top side. Haven't seen many cars moving up there yet, to be honest with you. They seem to have all dropped every time someone gets shuffled up there. Better way to take care of the tires, indeed. But here comes Locklear on the bottom. He's going to get by Danielson here. Cross the line, he'll get the position.
Yeah, usually the higher line can work in the real world, but here in the sim, the track doesn't change all that much. So I do believe the bottom line will be the way to go as this race goes on, unless you get a bunch of drivers, unless you can convince a bunch of drivers to run that higher groove.
Okay, Elwood and Washington are continuing to drop the field, but I'll tell you what, this battle just behind them, Cameron, Jones, Wilsey, and Payne, these four are trucking right now, doing all they can to try and catch him. But there goes Payne.
He thought about it.
Yeah, he did. He tried to stick his nose in there, and then the three of Mark Wilsey said, "No, I don't think so. Not right yet, kid."
Yeah, not yet indeed, but you know, there's plenty of time to try to make a pass, that's for sure.
See him almost kissing the wall there, coming off a 2. Danielson still backing up here on track. Tanner, let's take a look and see if maybe he's got some damage on that car. But man, he is just he's dropped 10 spots already to start this race. And yeah, as I look at it, sure enough, it looks like he's got a little bit of a wrinkle on the right side, maybe a very, very minor bit of damage, but doesn't look like any significant. You know, this could be a play to just strategy right now, seeing how the race is going. He may be back there just riding right now.
This was the first time he got to the bottom side of the racetrack. Right now, he is sitting behind the number 24 of Joe Owen right now back in 17. But this is actually, realistically, the first time he's been on the inside row, especially not surrounded by cars. So he was just caught up on the outside row. He had, we got a pass for the lead right here.
Yeah, here we go. And, Washington going to get it done there around Elwood. You know, Washington looked really happy sitting there riding behind Elwood, and I think Elwood might have made a small mistake there and opened up opportunity for Washington, and he went ahead and took it away from him.
And I think Washington's even more happy.
Does Danford have a problem here?
Well, he's got a car right behind him. That would be a bright green car. That's Jesse Abraham in the 97.
Wilsey just gets by Cammer. So does Andrew Payne. Cammer struggling all of a sudden, guys.
Man, it just seems like if you get to that top lane, man, Sean, you're just going to go backwards. And that just seems like a key thing.
They dropped him for sure. Watch out for Dylan Jones, though, man. Once he gets a little bit of clean air, he's on the go. And the blue oval now sitting here in third. He gets to try and go chase Alan Elwood, who's 2.08 seconds ahead of him.
It's a pretty big gap for the top two drivers.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, since we dropped the green flag, they just kind of pulled off and left everybody.
Tell you, a driver that's moving up through a field is our championship leader, Andrew Farnyars. He's already cracked the top 10, sitting in 9th place, started 16th. And actually, he's going to try to dive trying to dive underneath the 46 of Richard Reagan Jr.
Yeah, and I want you to look at the left front. I'm sorry, the right front of the left front of Farnyar's car, and tell me what you see. You're seeing the same thing I am. It's damaged, and he's picked up 7 spots, but is he really going to be able to climb his way back up to the front? Boy, it looks like he's got a tough road to hoe right now. That car may not be steering the way he wants it to.
I mean, right now it's steering pretty good because right now he's trying to get underneath the 46 of Richard Reagan Jr. Richard's trying to pinch him down a little bit.
Richard in that neonism Ford there, it's definitely neon.
Neonism.
You have to put a disclaimer on that car and may cause retinal damage. Boy, Farnyar's really working on him here as we ride on board. Look out the back window.
Farnyar's is really trying to dive it in there, trying to get right underneath him. It's actually really... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, Regan, talked about being in a rhythm. Regan really seems like he's in that rhythm right now, and there we go on the attack. Farnyard's going to try and pull it off, but Regan not being defensive, just running his line, he shuts that door a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if you really look at Regan, look at the kind of line he's running. He hasn't really been on all the way on the bottom like Farnyard's has been. He's been kind of running the middle group part of the track. I don't want to say the higher line, but
yeah, no, but the middle groove is exactly right, and he's got good control coming off of turn 4. So Farnyard's really going to have to do a lot of work down there on the bottom if he hopes to execute a pass here at some point. I mean, he's been at this now for already 5 laps, at least, that we've been talking about him.
Yeah, Richard's line, it's really helping him on corner exit. I mean, as you've seen a couple laps already, that Farnyard's got the run on him on entrance of the corner. But Richard Regan, he just beats Farnyard's on corner exit. Let's see if he can get it done off turn number 2. Yeah, coming off turn 2. They're pretty even coming off turn 2 right there. Tight racing, though. Farnyard's did get him.
Yeah, he finally gets in front of him. It took him quite a while to get it done, and look at this. Regan is going to go now. He's going to try and go back at him here on the bottom.
Riding right on that yellow line. Be careful. Don't get your wheels below that yellow line because it can become really like ice skates down there for the car.
Yeah, it's not a good way to survive. Oh, and boy, and you know what? There you go. Regan gets his wheels down on that line and had a little trouble coming out of 4. The car got loose, and you see how the gap just opened up between him and Farnyard there just a bit. Oh, he's having trouble coming off turn 2. Fishtailing it off of 2.
Well, that'll swap the position of Farnyard and Regan, 8th and 9th.
Wow. Little battle here for 13th, looking pretty good. You've got Eric Stanford being chased by Jesse Abraham. Haven't talked much about this part of the field. They actually spread out pretty quick. Yeah, Stanford right running up the track. Oh.
Trying to carry as much speed as you can on that corner exit. You just don't want to tap the wall. But looks like the field has calmed down a little bit here. Looks like we've seen some passes in the early stages of this race. And I know we're still in the early part of the race. But everybody's kind of fanned out a little bit here.
Yeah, well, back here right now, Joe Owen in that Napa 24 Chevrolet. Joe has picked up 3 spots. Was one of those cars that didn't qualify tonight. He continues to move forward. Judd Danielson, he's back up to 16th. Again, I think at this point, Judd just might be riding, but at some point you're going to want to get in the hunt for the bonus points here. He's got, 6 positions to make up to get in the top 10. I wonder if he's going to get on his horse here at some point because we're just about 10 laps to go to the end of this first stage, and hard to believe that we've already put in 28 laps here, Tanner.
Yeah, and these laps are clicking off like crazy right now. The race leaders' lap times are running about 22.3s every single lap. So it's bad fast here at night track at Richmond. Just imagine if we had the Indy cars out.
Yeah, and our leader actually catching the back of the field right now. David Washington is starting to run up on Stephen Llewellyn, just ahead of him here. So you're going to have to, you're fighting for these bonus points right now, and now you're going to start to hit the back of the field. I think we're going to have plenty of time to get this done and then pass them, but, well, it's a hope right now. It's a wish that they move out of the way. It looks like Stephen's going to run up the track here and let Washington go on by. Here comes Alan Elwood across the line. He's going to catch Llewellyn here into turn 1.
So Llewellyn becomes the first car 1 lap down after 30 laps.
That just tells you how fast the back of the field actually is. They're still running really, really good times. So the battle heating up again here for 13th. We're side by side.
Abraham on the bottom. 19 of Eric Stanford. Trying to hold these cats off. And this is actually probably the most exciting part of side-by-side action on the racetrack here.
Yeah. There's Joe Owen again fighting. He's getting that car to turn. Owen is turning. Look at that, man. He got the car to turn there off the top.
That is the highest I've ever seen anybody pass anybody from the high side like that.
He took Jesse Abraham, dropped him there. Owen did a really, really good job with the car. On the chase here, Eric Stanford.
Yeah, look how high Owen is. Above,
Yeah.
that's like the highest we've seen all night so far.
Well, he's trying to diamond off the turns right now, and we got trouble with Washington. I didn't pick it up. We've got it on the replay, though.
Let's head down to turn 3. Apron, maybe? Oh, that's a odd place. Usually, because when you come off the corner, odd.
I'm wondering if he may be dealing with a little bit of a connection issue.
Either a connection issue or something malfunctioned for a brief second, because that is the weird part of the track to really get loose unless you're really hard on the brakes.
And I don't see any damage on the car.
No, I don't see it either.
Yeah, that's going to move Jones up into second, and Jones has got a chance here to maybe catch Elwood, pick up some very, very important bonus points. Got 3 laps to go to the end of the first stage. 40 lap stages here for the first 2, and 70 for the last one. Boy, Jones was really, really squirrely there off the turn.
Well, Jones will get bonus points for sure, but he wants the number 1 spot to win the stage so he can get a playoff point. Battle for 12th on screen. It is really heating up back here for position. Contact! Eric Stanford and number 4, William Locklear. They really doored. This is going to allow the number 90. Actually, who's that great green card? Abraham.
Jesse Abraham, yeah.
Yeah, he took advantage of that on the front stretch. Now he's trying to take after Eric Stanford. Stanford fighting really hard off the corner of the exit. Nice run he got, beating Abraham to the line and clears Abraham. Judd Danielson trying to make something happen on the 24 of Joe Owen. That would be a battle for 15th on the speedway.
Man, Joe just living on that top side right now. We've got to go to the leader here, though, because we're about to complete the end of the first stage. Oh, the caution flag's already out. Well, your stage winner is going to be Alan Elwood. Dylan Jones going to come home in second. Washington's going to hang on to third there. So the very important first stage that goes off without a hitch. Now, did somebody get around that actually brought that caution out? Or no, I'm sorry. No, that was actually thrown by race control.
Yeah, that was thrown by race control. So I just wonder if the race control threw the caution to tick early, but
maybe it's just a tick early. I mean, Elwood was entering turn 3, I think, when that dropped, but everybody lining up now, getting ready to come to pit road. And it's going to be all about the pit stops right here, Tanner.
Hey, didn't I call it? Everybody's going to be visiting pit road right here, especially when we didn't see anybody wreck in the first opening laps of the 40 laps that we ran currently of stage 1. Now everybody's going to come down pit road, get some 4 fresh stickers, fill that thing up with fuel. And I do believe the lucky dog went to Llewellyn.
Yes. Llewellyn's going to get that, and good job by him.
I bet you Elwood's going to win the race off pit road. Here's the reason why, because look where the corner exit pit road is.
Yeah.
Right in that's the advantage of the number 1 pit box, and Elwood takes it.
Yeah, and looks like Dylan Jones going to get out third there. He does a good job.
Wow, Washington came back right there. Back where he started, second place.
Yeah, Washington just has a really solid stop there. Dylan Jones actually a little long in the pit stop, 15.7 to 14.6 for David Washington. I think that says a lot about why Washington got out ahead. Washington still carrying, what I see is no damage on the car, so we're thinking maybe he had a small computer issue that got him shuffled there, but our front row going to look very, very familiar to restart this race.
Very familiar indeed. We do not have the one-to-go signal just yet. I should assume we'll get the one-to-go signal this time by, though.
What a great
precaution.
What a great opening segment. Lots of racing going on throughout the field. One of the really, really big movers has been Andrew Farnyards, who now finds himself in 8th place to restart this race. Started 16th today. And Andrew working his way through the field. He is the biggest mover here through the first segment. And one of our big winners here on the pit stop. Looks like everybody took 4 tires and all the fuel they could handle. So no funny business there in the pits this time.
One thing I've noticed since the drop of the green flag, look at that bottom groove there, Sean. It's starting to darken up already, and we've already completed like 43 laps. So in a 150 lap race, that bottom groove is really going to darken up.
Well, tires did, they did hold up. The drivers did a good job of managing them. We saw a lot of drivers running that middle groove that we talked about. A couple drivers going with the diamond strategy on the track. So there were some varying strategies, but certainly the speed, the movement in the line was down on the bottom, and that's why you're seeing a little bit heavier rubber down there. How's it going to work on this restart? You got to be careful here on these restarts not to spin the tires. Not much room to get out of the way if you have a mess up, and you don't get to do it over again. The lights are out on the pace car. We get lined up and ready to go here, Tanner.
Yeah, Alan Elwood's going to bring him to the green flag here as soon as that pace car darts down towards pit road. Then it's his restart. David Washington, second. Dylan Jones, third. Mike Wisley in fourth. And Andrew Payne running off the top 5.
All right, Alan Elwood, what is your strategy going to be this time, buddy? You're going to slow him up? No. Elwood gets on the hammer real quick there out of turn 4. He's going to try and pull away, get a little bit of clean air here. I don't think he wants to fight here with Washington at all.
Oh, man, the number 99, Colton Selleck, just slammed the door on Farnyards entering turn number 1. And Farnyards really thought about it. He's still thinking about it. Oh, he kind of moved him out of the way a little bit. A little bump and run. That's classic short track racing right there.
Yeah, and there we go. Farnyard's going to dive to the bottom again. And once again, the door going to get shut. Richard Regan gets around Kyle Cammer. He's going to make it stick. Cammer going to fight back.
Wisley is actually going after Payne. Farnyards after Selleck.
Yeah, what a restart.
Yeah, what a restart indeed. Farnyards does get around Colton Selleck. Now he's got to go after Mark Wisley, and Wisley was going after the number 93 of Andrew Payne. There goes Farnyards before I could say it.
Wisley got crazy loose there. Lost a lot of momentum. Farnyards trying to set him up here for another pass. Farnyards going to get another one done. Going to get it under Wilsey, and is he going to get by and all the way around? Yes. Yes, it is his for now. Farnyards up to 5th.
Yeah, there's a battle up there for Dylan Jones and Andrew Payne.
Yeah, Jones was a little bit loose, but seems to have gathered it back up. Payne, though, giving good chase here. And I was just going to say, Elwood and Washington back up to their old tricks here. The way they started the first segment, they've already started to drop the field here, about a second difference.
Yeah, those top 2 drivers, Elwood and Washington, have been class of the field thus far tonight. Dylan Jones has got company right behind him, not just Andrew Payne, but look back to Andrew Farnyards, who's just eyeing up those 2 guys for lunch right now, because Andrew Farnyards may be one of the other drivers that is in class of the field. We do got a battle for the lead.
Around the outside. Washington down on the bottom. Elwood going to keep it up top here. And both just getting through low. Look at the run here. Elwood gets off the top. They continue to fight down into turn one. Elwood going to step in line. When he gets a run there.
Yeah, he got a run, but he had to back it off. He didn't want to get into the back bumper and turn Washington around. So Washington to the top spot. Elwood remains in second. Barnyards is actually going for fourth on Andrew Payne right now. And Barnyards looks like he's going to get that position over Payne.
Yeah, I think our leader's not settled here. Got another battle here. Salik trying to get this done here on the 46. Richard Regan hold him off for now. Salik really thought about it to get the fender all the way in, but Salik with just a little bit better pace. I'm sorry, Regan with a little bit better pace.
Yeah, Richards, he's got a decent car here tonight, that's for sure. It's just right now he's been running around where he started 11th on the night, so just outside the top 10, but he's just currently running 7th, so so far it's a good showing for Richard Regan tonight.
I figured out what was wrong with Judd Danielson in this race. He doesn't like this track. That's about the only thing I can figure. The car looks fine. Judd fast every week. It just doesn't seem to be doing much with it here. But he is in 14th now and slowly starting to climb his way back into this race.
Another driver that doesn't like this track would be the number 8, Kyle Kamer. Started 3rd all the way back up to 10th.
Okay. Stephen Llewellyn is just coming out of the pits. Not sure what happened there to him.
Not seeing any significant damage on that car.
Yeah.
Jeff Martin actually took a tow, and actually he's back into the garage area right now.
Yeah, not exactly sure. Farnyard is starting to pick up Jones here just a bit, Tanner.
Yeah, Farnyards has been picking him up and putting him down. That's for sure. As right now he's sitting comfortably in 4th, and he might be sitting even a little more pretty because I'm just curious when Farnyards gets passes Jones, he's going to start challenging Elwood and Washington. And as aggressive as Farnyards has been, yeah, we might see a 3-wide battle before the lead on a restart, maybe.
Well, boy,
Jones! Oh, whoa! Holy cow! What a save! That is amazing.
Wow! Dylan Jones hangs on to it. Oh, and our leader had trouble also, but we'll go to the replay here real quick. Everybody's still going. No caution flag. Dylan Jones, you're going to see him lose it here. Car is going to get really wicked. He's able to save it here down near the apron. Ay. Look at that. The car, I'm surprised that didn't get all the way around.
What?
No, that was
Elwood.
Elwood, and then as you see him getting by, Elwood goes for a wild ride. Also, we'll go back live. Elwood under attack now, though, from Farnyards from all the time he lost with his little slide. Washington is the leader. And got a pretty good lead now. Farnyards on the attack here.
Oh yeah, he's going to get a nice run off here. Here you go. Farnyards is right now trying to battle with Elwood. And I tell you what, the driver that would like to see this battle is actually Washington. Coming off turn number 2, Elwood trying to hold him off. Farnyards is what he's trying to do is trying to get the run on corner exit to get side by side with Elwood. Sometimes it can work if you really dive the corner and try to get underneath him. But the problem with that is that your competition that you're trying to pass ahead of you is not going to be fully aware that you're trying to dive it in there to go for a pass. And here goes Farnyards. A little bit of a higher groove, this time in 1 and 2 for Elwood. Side by side down the back straightaway. Farnyards on the bottom side of the track. Let's see if Elwood's going to put up the fight. Looks like he's trying to put up the fight.
Yeah.
Trying to get the run on corner exit, which Elwood does. Has the preferred line for corner exit. Farnyards has the line for entrance. Still door to door. Oh, man, trying to make it work on the bottom, but looks like it ain't going to happen this time for Farnyards. I don't say that too often tonight. Barnyards is trying to recuperate and trying to get them better runs again.
Well, I'm sure that that little bit of a slide he had probably heated up the tires just a bit. And he's, you know, one, trying to manage those, and two, trying to hold off Andrew Farnyards. All the while, David Washington is gone and got his own little party going here up front now, over a second and a half ahead.
Yeah, Washington is in his own little cyber.
Yeah.
But here comes Dylan Jones back after Andrew Payne after letting the tires cool off. And I tell you what, Dylan Jones really is trying to get iRacing to get a dirt version of Richmond, because the way he should have lost that car.
Yeah,
goes Jones.
Dylan gonna try and get this position for Payne. They go through side by side, really, really close here. Payne fighting hard. Oh, a little bit of contact there between him and Jones.
Ever so close and ever so fast. Believe it or not, they are reaching about 140 to about 150 miles an hour entering the corners here at Richmond.
Yeah, and a lot of load on that right front tire as they corner here. I'm sure those right side temps here with almost 30 laps on them. It really, really got to be up right now.
They're really up. Jones is still flirting with that outside wall off turn number 4. I tell you what, you couldn't really fit a piece of paper between his car and the wall. And if I was a oh yeah, here goes Farnyards once again. And actually, Payne is actually under attack, but this time Jones goes around the outside line.
Okay, gonna try a little something different here.
Success. And here goes Farnyards trying to get underneath Elwood. I hope Farnyards was looking in his rearview mirror to see what happened there, to try to get around Elwood, but this time he wants to try the inside row once again. Elwood on the higher side gets a nice run on exit of turn 4. I think this is the toughest competition right now for Farnyards right here that he has all night. He's pretty much picked up everybody and put them down, but he has not been able to get past Elwood just yet. The driver that is loving this battle for second is the race leader, Washington. Yeah, every time these guys battle, Washington pulls away about 0.2 of a second.
Well, I gotta tell you, we're almost to the end of another segment here. I mean, we've had such great racing here this entire segment. It's really slipped by us, but we're not far here.
This
Just
is one.
5 laps to go.
Yeah, this is one of the cleanest Richmond races I've experienced here. I bet we'd still be green flag racing if we didn't have the stage racing.
Yeah, which again goes to how well these drivers are taking care of the cars this evening and manage that tire situation. But this battle, this side-by-side battle that continues on here between Farnyards and Elwood, a real classic right now. Neither one of them wants to give that up. Again, we're fighting for the end of this stage.
He's going to get this nice run right here off turn number 4. Don't know if he's going to beat Farnyards to the line right there, but it is rear mirror. You got Dylan Jones and Andrew Payne catching these two cats for second.
Yeah, and you know what? For as much as I know Dylan's got the speed, I don't know if he's got the tires. Oh, Farnyards, maybe he's running out of tires too.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a brilliant run on Elwood's part, that's for sure.
Now here comes Dylan Jones now.
What's Jones going to do?
Yeah, I don't know who's going to finish where here.
I don't know, but Jones, look at Jones. He wants to try that higher line again. That same line he got around Andrew Payne. And look at Farnyards still utilizing that bottom side of the racetrack. Looks like Jones gets a nice run off turn number 4. Not enough just yet, but he's going to follow the same foot tracks as Elwood. Let's see if Jones can get a nice run here. Nothing yet. Really can't go anywhere unless you really want to push the issue, because we're coming to the white flag of stage number 2.
And they are just almost dead even.
Yeah, they're both run 22.5s.
Yeah, it'll be a race off of 4 indeed. And here we go.
Diving it in there for bonus points. Washington's going to get the stage point.
Easy. Going to get it easy. And it's going to be Elwood taking second there. Farnyar's third. Expect we'll be getting that caution here any time now. And there it goes. Caution flag is out at the end of stage 2. Dave Washington, Alan Elwood, Andrew Farnyars. Your top 3 there. Dylan Jones, Andrew Payne. Complete the top 5. Tanner, another great segment. Wow. And the racing was better in that segment than it was in the opening segment. I mean, there was a lot of hustling going on out there throughout the field.
And we got plenty more racing to do, too. So I expect more racing to happen like this in the final stage. And Washington really made up for that first stage mistake by getting a stage point in the second stage. So good job on Washington's part. Pit road is open. This is going to call everybody down pit road. Don't hit them barrels, whoever that was. I think that was Dylan Jones who almost collided into the barrels. But nonetheless, here they come. 4 tires and fuel.
Yeah, that's the call. There's really no strategy to be played here when you've had a lack of caution flags like we've had so far. It'll be a fight between Elwood and Washington here off the pit lane. Both hit their box perfectly. Right sides are up first, though, for Washington.
Andrew Farnyar's already 4 tires and done. Trying to get on a loud pedal. Can't speed over 40 miles an hour. To the line. Ooh, that was close off pit road.
Washington's going to get it. Elwood will go to second, and Dylan Jones just barely missed out an opportunity to get past Elwood there. But hey, folks, we're going to take a quick break here from Richmond Raceway on the Global SimRacing Channel. We'll see you in a minute. Welcome back to the Commonwealth of Virginia here at Richmond Raceway. We get ready to get restarted here in the AdPro Results 360 Cup Series. Been a great race so far tonight, Tanner. A lot of racing going on out of here in this field. Right now, it's going to be David Washington to restart this race from the pole. Alan Elwood is going to have to start on the outside. The lights are out on the pace car. And, brother, it's pulling off. Here we go. Washington doesn't waste any time. He's on the hammer. Down across the line. He will restart this race all by himself up there in the lead. Dylan Jones gets Great jump off the restart. Files into second. Here comes Andrew Farnyards. Oh, Alan Elwood with a moment with the wall up there.
And he's stuck up on the higher line because there's no bottom groove. Mark Wilsey very high in turns 3 and 4. Now there's driver taking advantage of this.
Oh, Elwood fighting down at the bottom under Farnyards here up front.
That's a crossover move too.
Yeah, got to try and make it stick. They go back to fighting side by side, right where they left off. Dylan Jones, the big winner there, I think, to be honest with you. He got away clean.
Elwood really battling Farnyards hard. Farnyards ain't giving an inch either. This time it's vice versa. Farnyards was on the bottom. Now it's Elwood on the bottom. And I'm sure Elwood's liking this.
All Richard Regan can do is watch. Watch them and keep an eye on his mirror, and then he doesn't get run over by Andrew Payne.
Unless you want to push the issue, but I don't think that'll be a wise move here at Richmond.
Okay, listen, we've got 60. We've got to cover Ross the line with 60 laps left to go. I got to be honest with you. Again, our data said they only get about 50 to 55 miles out of their tire, 50 to 55 laps out of their tires. So we do know they're going to need at least one more stop. And I meant fuel when I was talking about 50 to 55 laps. I'm still just glued on this battle here between Farnyards and I'm sorry, I'm getting lost now. Farnyards and Alan Elwood.
Yeah, I'm glued to this battle too because neither driver's giving an inch, and the patient drivers behind in the popcorn position would probably be Richard Regan and Andrew Payne. Another driver that has dropped back since the restart is Mark Wilsey. He's back there in 8th right now. He actually just got by another driver. That was the number 23 of Ethan Moore.
Yeah, Wilsey trying to recover right now. He had a horrible restart, but it looks like he's somewhat back into his rhythm here, and Wilsey can start getting back to work and trying to get himself back up here in the fight. He's chasing Colton Sollick now, who's about 0.63 seconds.
Man, this battle for third is not letting up. This has been a continuation battle since the end of stage number 2, and it is here again, and it has not let up since the drop of the green flag of stage 3.
All right, so Tanner, here's my question. You're driving behind this. What do you do?
Nope. Nothing really. You're just kind of riding in line, waiting for somebody to either make a mistake or just kind of waiting to see what line kind of goes. You're kind of just stuck there. Unless if you get close enough and you really want to get aggressive and push the issue to take the 3 wide. I don't know if that's the smartest move, but
will a hashtag send it?
yeah, absolutely. But right now you're just kind of right there. Wow! Almost chopped the nose off of Elwood. Farnyards did. He just got right in front of him. So that just takes it single file. Now, if you're Richard Regan, Elwood. There's that mistake that I was talking about. Caution is out.
He saved it. He saved it, and that was iRacing bringing out the caution because he was spinning. He was still in the racing surface with cars around him. So it must have generated a loss of control on the vehicle, but he just lost the tires. What a great job by Alan Elwood, though, there to hang on to it. Tanner, fortunate yellow flag or not? You could come in right here. You could fill up. You could get fresh tires again.
Fill her up. I would say go for it.
You could try and run her to the end. You could maybe come in and just take fuel, top it off, and leave those tires on.
Well, we've run enough green flags to where you can probably gain some track position. I do think track position is key here at Richmond, but I don't know. It's a mixed bag.
Watching the hands on the replay here. You're gonna see him get a workout. It's not supposed to be going that way. It's not supposed to go that way.
Elwood stays out. Richard Regan stays out. So majority of the field I'm seeing is going to come in.
Yeah, Washington's leading him down. Washington into his box here at the end of pit lane. Regan, Joe Owen, Alan Elwood, Will Locklear, all going to keep their cars out on track right now.
Jones gets out. Ooh, maybe a 2-tire strategy?
What did Dylan
What is
do?
going on with... Wait, hang on. What's going on with Washington?
Well, Dylan, I can confirm, took 2 tires. what is going on with Washington.
This is not like David Washington for sure. He's getting out right now.
Something happened there.
He will be well outside the top 10.
I'm wondering if he got penalized there. Too fast coming in? That looks like a penalty there based on the time.
Well, under a caution flag, Sean, usually if you're too fast coming in, usually it's an end of the line penalty, and you don't have to serve the penalty in your pit box. Yeah, maybe it could be a penalty. That's the only thing I can come up with.
Well, if anybody in the peanut gallery is working with David, hit us up. Let us know what's going on. Bit of a surprise there. Richard Regan is your new race leader. You know, you've got your top three right here with just kind of trying something a little bit different. Regan, Owen, Locklear, neither one of them, none of the three came down the pit lane. Everybody behind him has been serviced. I can't imagine that they will sit up there long.
Oh, they're not going to sit up there a long day. They're going to get eaten up by Jones, Farnyard, especially Farnyards, and also Colton Selleck. Those guys are on fresher tires. You're talking about a 15-lap difference under a green flag run between tires for the top three to the rest of the field. So that's huge. Watch out for a wheel spin on corner exit when we come to the restart.
Yeah. 50 to go across the line here. It looks like the light's going to go out. We're going to line them up, get them started again. Elwood with just a bit of a self-spin brings out this caution flag, and he will restart from the rear of the field along with David Washington.
Yeah, the two top dominant cars of the race today, are back of the pack. We just got some new players right now up front. Richard Regan, Joe Owen, William Locklear. Let's see what these boys can do on older tires compared to Jones, Farnyards, and Selleck.
Well, Joe's a fighter, and I've loved the fighting him all night, so look for some action here when we get restarted for the front row. Dylan Jones will be fighting hard there from the top side. Here we go. Wow, Regan does not waste any time. He gets on him real quick.
Locklear's in trouble.
Yeah, they're checking up behind him. Woo-hoo. Locklear scrambling to just kind of get out of the way. Dylan Jones got to check up behind Locklear.
We're wrecking off turn number 2. That was a ricochet of a wreck. Huge accident. And I believe we got some squeakers that just got by this mess.
You know, I think it might have started with Dylan Jones. He gets checked up behind the 4, and when he does, he gets hit from behind, and it just causes one big melee back here. Dylan Jones down there in the 16, the orange and black car.
Ooh, we have an onboard of the 17 of, what's his name? Judd Daniels said he just squeaked by this incident.
Yes, he did. He kind of drove right through the middle of that, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I believe your theory is right. He doesn't really like this racetrack, but he just drove right through the middle.
Well, we've got some bent up race cars now, and that is unfortunate. Looks like William Locklear is going to bring his Chevrolet down the pit lane. And folks, we're having a couple of technical issues here. We'll get them solved for you here real quick. But I can tell you, Richard Regan still in the lead. So, Tanner, they got away with it. It looks like at least Regan and Owen did, and they still find themselves here at the front of the field.
Yeah, I think Elwood and Washington, too, got away with it because they were in the back of the pack with that wreck happening right in front of them. So they got away with it, but they're going to come down pit road right now. At least Elwood's coming down pit road to get some 4 fresh tires and maybe top that thing off with fuel to try to make it to the end. Washington will stay out on the racetrack.
Yeah, I don't think Elwood's got anything to lose from that spot anyway back there to come in, top off. if he's got another set. Well, yeah, he's got another set of tires.
A bunch of drivers should have at least another set or maybe more. For sure, but I'm kind of surprised Regan Jr. and Owen kind of hung on there, but that was a quick caution. But right there in third place, mark him down, is Andrew Farnyard. And he's been fast all race long. And Mark Wilsey is in fourth. Ethan Moore rounding out that top 5.
Boy, and Elwood does take tires, so he goes through another set there. Unfortunately, we can't keep track of the sets of tires for you because, well, we can't always confirm whether or not they've taken a set of tires. We don't have we don't have 20 people to sit in each pit stall and report back to us on that. But Elwood kind of breaks stride there, comes in and puts fresh tires on of what might be his last set. He's had 4 stops, and we'll safely assume that right now all 4 stops have been 4 tires. So that may have been his final set.
Yeah, Dylan Jones, if I'm not mistaken, was the only driver that took 2 tires so far in this race. And Dylan Jones already did 4 pit stops. So everybody else has taken 4 tires. So Alan Elwood already on his 4th pit stop. So if we do the math right on how many tires he's taken or how many sets he's taken, that's 4 sets right there.
Boy, and Dylan Jones, not much of a race car left, unfortunately.
Having a great run, too. This evening. 1 to go signal this time by Richard Regan Jr., Joe Owen, Andrew Farnyards, Mark Wilsey, and Ethan Moore rounding out your top 5. So Richard Regan Jr. and Joe Owen, 1 and 2, are on older tires by 15 laps, compared to Andrew Farnyards and Mark Wilsey, who is on the fresher tires. Going to be an interesting restart right here coming off turn number 4. Right now they're entering turn 3.
All right, here we go. Pace car's off. Regan's gone. On the hammer, here he goes. He gets across the line clean, in the clean air, all by himself. Joe Owen stuck up top. Andrew Farnyard's there on the bottom. Oh, Farnyard's got to get
trouble
by.
back there. Ellery Queen's in trouble. 3 wide action.
Oh, boy.
Farnyard's going for the race lead now. Richard Regan's in trouble.
Wilsey trying to hang on to third back there. Joe Owen fighting with Ethan Moore. Here goes Farnyards trying to go to the lead. Farnyards getting under Regan. 2 more turns to go. Can he get across the stripe first? Farnyards been trying to get there all night. Finally, Andrew Farnyards is going to lead a lap here. Down at a 1. He is now your race leader.
Farnyards has led the most laps than any other driver this season in this series. Right now we got Owen under attack.
Oh, boy.
23 up more. Oh, what's happening?
Regan was sideways. That car was cranked all the way sideways, and he managed to pull it back from near death. Woo! Wilsey still can't complete the pass on him.
Hey, and I'm telling you, iRacing, time to get dirt here at Richmond.
Wilsey having to check up a little bit, avoid running over Regan there.
Wilsey should have no problem getting around Richard Regan. He should have a good run corner exit here.
Man, Regan's trying to make these old tires work, and I got to tell you, so far it's so good. He's hanging on to it, flying by the seat of his pants.
Oh, Stafford up the hill just a little bit. Just got passed by the 99 of Colton Selleck. Now under attack from David Washington. Oh, and there goes Wilsey underneath Regan Jr.
Wilsey trying to get to second. Mark Wilsey, where you been all my life? Here he comes. Whoa.
He ran into some trouble earlier in the race by running the higher groove. The racetrack fell back as deep as, I believe, 8th place.
Yeah, he's back. He struggled in that first segment and has been pouring it on ever since. Joe Owen's tires are just killing him. He's continuing to drop through the field. Another charge being mounted here. Salek getting by him here. Here comes David Washington. We know that Ford is fast. Washington trying to come through. Choo-choo.
Yeah, he is choo-chooing on that bumper of the 99 of Salek. 3 wide entering turn number 1. Had a give and take just a little bit there. But I tell you what, he's been knocking on the door. Washington coming right back up after a possible pit penalty. Oh, caution on the speedway. It's in the back of the pack.
Yeah, Ellery Queen continued to struggle. He had big trouble coming off of 2. He's going to lock up the left front and go for a spin into the inside retaining wall.
Yeah, he got really loose.
Yeah,
hit
he
that
did.
inside wall hard. That ricocheted him up toward the racetrack.
Watch the exit here off of 2. It's just going to get around on him. He tries to save it by jamming on the pedal. It does not help. Right on board here with Judd Danielson, the number 17. Get his view of it. Judd on board with him and Ellery right in front of him there. At a close moment. You know, Judd's thinking, God, please don't snap back across the speedway. All right, lots of pit stops. David Washington, one of them. Washington in his box, almost sideways. Several cars getting off ahead of Washington. Farnyards is going to get ahead of Wilsey. Richard Regan got out in front of all of them. But once again, this race has changed on us again here, Tanner. We've got some more new faces at the front. Ethan Moore, now your leader. And Ethan, with a 15th place starting spot tonight, is managed with a little bit of strategy and a little bit of good luck here to get himself up front. He's going to have Alan Elwood, though, to compete with, Tanner.
Yeah, and I'm not seeing any significant damage on Ethan Moore's car. And Alan Elwood is back on up there. Jesse Abraham was actually running the top 10 in the early stages of the race. But how about Mr. Judd Danielson? For a guy, I think you said it there, maybe he doesn't like this racetrack, but he's got to go for something.
Well, you know, I said early on that maybe the plan was to just ride.
Yeah.
Sit back there and just ride and kind of stay out of trouble. Well, it's time to race. You can't ride anymore. We're going to restart this race with probably 31 or 30 to go. And like I said, the time for riding is over. Judd Danielson's done a great job to stay out of trouble and keep himself in position for, a great finish tonight. And, we'll see if the 17 can hold up. He's been out here for 20. We're working on lap 21 right now on his stint currently. But I'll be honest with you, Judd, I think anybody that's got about 20 to 21 laps on the car, I think they've got a chance of making it to the end if they can hang on to the car.
Top 5 drivers currently stayed out. Yeah, that's a key thing. If you can hang on to the race car, practically everybody can make it to the end. So I think this race is going to come down to who's got the freshest tires. And I want to circle him right now, maybe go for this race win this evening, is Andrew Farnyards. He may be back there in 7th, but as fast and at times aggressive as he is, keep your eye on him.
All right, well, here we go. Lights are out. Everybody getting ready here, getting in line. Judd Danielson pulling up on the outside there. He'll restart 4th. Boy, Elwood spent a lot of time up in the front of this race tonight. He's got a new challenger here, though, and Ethan Moore. Got about 7 laps difference on their tires. Tanner, the pace car looks ready.
Car.
It looks as ready as it's looked all night. And there it goes. What's Ethan Moore going to do? Ethan's going to hang out, and then he's going to go. Ethan Moore to drop the green flag is on his horse. Down in a 1. Alan Elwood already looking to the inside, saying, what can I do here?
Go ahead.
I was going to say Jesse Abraham with a good start. Richard Regan hanging on to it. He's going to get there. Regan going to get under Abraham and get by. He's bringing Farnyards with him.
Oh boy, the intensity has definitely picked up for sure. Elwood's got about 5 laps fresher tires than what Ethan Moore does, but Moore doing a very good job at hanging on. I think Elwood had the run off of turn number 4, just didn't take it yet. Richard Regan in 3rd, Barnyard's 4th, and Jesse, actually,
Willsie's around across the line. Him and Joe Owen get into it. Oh! They were 3 wide coming through turn 3 and 4. Willsie going to get turned around. It looks like everybody saved it without any hard contact back there. Let's check the replay. Yeah, it's been a rough night for poor Willsie.
He is. Just after we took the green flag, he was already 3 wide. Already took it really high.
Yeah, you're going to see here. He's going to hit right in the middle of the track. Joe Owen down there on the bottom looks like he gets a little bit of that apron. It kind of drifts up a bit, makes a little bit of contact with Willsie, but damage to a minimum. They're able to survive that. Now, this is really important. You gotta remember what you've done with tires here at this point. Don't be the guy that comes down and takes an extra set of tires when you don't have them. You will get penalized for that, and well, the penalty won't be good. Our leader, Ethan Moore, coming in the pit. I kind of suspected he might do that. Elwood stays out on track, though. And I honestly think Elwood could make it from here on fuel. He's been awful good on the old tires tonight.
Well, there's a lot of drivers come down pit road and a few to stay out. Interesting calls. Man, it's got my head spinning.
Well, Farnyar's Washington, they just really didn't need to come in. Neither did Stanford or Salick. Joe Owen. They all went in that same time here on the last caution flag. So did Richard Regan. Elwood's the real wild card there up there with 12 more laps on his tires than everybody behind him. Elwood's got to hope for a good restart here and able to get off to a good break. Maybe try and get away from the field. Maybe Regan and Farnyar's fight for a little bit longer. Maybe Washington gets into a fight there that allows Elwood to get some distance on these guys. If it can keep it green behind him, Elwood, I think, has a really, really good shot to win this race. I do like what you said about Farnyar's, though. Boy, his pace has been good all night. And you know what? I think he is certainly a contender to win this race. I don't think that's any big mystery. He's been awful fast. He's going for 3 in a row, folks. We haven't talked about that much. We talked about it in the beginning, but Farnyar is trying to make, get the hat trick here tonight.
Definitely is, and he's been dominating, especially with leading the points, leading laps. I mean, he's the most laps led than any other driver, which just tells me he's up front every single week. So, Farnyar just knows how to get it done, especially in a Gen 6 NASCAR Cup car, because these cars are no joke.
No, and they're not easy to drive. Let's just be really honest about that, Tanner. I know you spend a bit of time in them. They are not easy to drive at all. They're quite difficult to figure out, and it seems like the short tracks can be a real mystery sometimes for how these cars are going to react tonight. I think we've seen another great race, but make no mistake, the track has been a real beast on these machines.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, my most success here as far as short track racing in these cars has been at Richmond. The most I've ever done here at Richmond, believe it or not, here, Sean. And this is a crazy stat on my end: 5 straight wins at Richmond. So,
okay.
I love Richmond. It's just, it's a rhythm racetrack. This is one of my favorite short tracks to watch and drive.
Richard Petty is certainly shaking in his boots right now after that bold claim. But now Alan Elwood going to get to restart the race as the leader once again. It's going to be all up to the Elwood Designs Chevrolet to get the field going here. The lights are out, Tanner. This could be the last time.
This could be the last time indeed.
Maybe not, but this could be. I think Elwood's going to need a little bit of luck here. Like I said, maybe a fight behind him allows him to get away, but we'll see. Elwood is going to stack him up, and then he's going to go. And he got the jump on him, indeed.
Boy, the driver that really got the jump is Andrew Farnyar's, because he is coming.
Yep, Farnyar's is there, and man, rides right up on the bumper. Elwood, he's already got a fender in. He's door to door with him.
Man, I just wish Elwood was on fresher tires than Farnyards. Farnyards does beat him to the line, but Elwood's on the older tires.
Yeah, no, they gave it to Elwood that time by. Elwood still clinging to the lead. Farnyards trying to make it happen down on the bottom. Come down the backstretch, thundering into turn 3. Farnyards still fighting and just about to complete this pass, but no, Elwood gonna fight back. High, wide, and handsome across the line. It's Elwood still clinging to second. Farnyards officially the leader right now. Elwood got to settle in for second. Finally, the fight. We had somebody slap the wall. Ethan Moore with a bit of a tank slapper.
Boy, that battle for third really heating up, man. Holy cow. And actually, Washington just took it away from Ricken Jr., so Washington's back up there in the mix.
Watch out. Here comes David Washington. Oh, boy. These three are going to provide a lot of excitement here over the next 18 laps. It's time to boogie, baby.
Man, Moore's in trouble. He got close to the wall again. I don't think he hit it this time, but he's getting close.
Tanner, as you know, once you do it, it generally happens again, and the second time is... Oh, boy, look at that.
Oh, that was risky.
Right down in front of Dylan.
Oh, boy.
I think Dylan has many nice words to say right now.
Jones will be like, man, you're lucky.
Gonna go on board with Dylan Jones. Jones out there still fighting and surviving. That car was awful beat up. He's got some of the front nose back on it again. Repair has been kind to him. But getting around Moore is proving to be a very, very difficult task.
Definitely is. Moore ain't giving up without a fight. Moore actually is having an eventful day. After starting 15th, he's running up there in the top 10. And at one point, he was up towards the front and leading laps.
Starting to think there, Dylan wants to get around Moore. He might have to give him a little help.
I tip my hat to Elwood, but I tell you what, he's being pressurized by David Washington.
Yeah, and Washington just got a little loose there coming off the last turn and into the backstretch. Elwood still, really making the car look good here on track. Getting right up there to the wall. Caution's out.
Caution.
Oh, and it's Owen going into a slide. It looked like with Jesse Abraham. Was that Abraham that Owen got in with? Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. Oh, wow.
Got this on the replay. They get side by side, and, well, things just go wrong. Owen going to kind of dive in there into the turn.
Yeah, I think he dove in there just a little too hard, and actually Abraham maybe under-driven that corner. Just trying to maybe stay out of the way, and we overdrove his own corner and just kind of slowed it down. Looks like a racing incident. Most of the field is going to stay out here, Sean.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see, at least from the front, you're not going to see any takers.
Receiving word of Lucky Dog, Kyle Kamer.
All right, well, that'll give Kyle a chance to fight. Now, he is many laps down here at this point. Certainly won't get enough Lucky Dogs to get back in this, but that'll be good for him. I mean, we're going to restart this race with under 10 to go. Tanner, what are you thinking about here at this point with this restart coming up? What's the most important thing about this restart?
When you come to the restart and all that, you really got to pay attention to when the leader's going to go, because we've seen leaders go at a later time and an early time. So if, let's just say, for example, if I'm Washington and I'm restarting third, I have to pay attention to Farnyards. When is he going to go? As soon as he hits the gas, if I can time it just right, I can get a nice run on Elwood and go for second spot. And if I can clear Elwood, I would have a little bit of clean air, a little bit of clean air to work with to try to follow the same footsteps as Farnyards, and maybe I can track him down. But if I can do that, I'll either win the race, or I'll finish second. Either way, it's a good paying points day. So that's a key thing. And don't spin your tires, because you did spin out. You did have laps on these tires. Don't spin the tires. In other words, I guess you could say, don't beat yourself.
Yeah.
Back to that Richard Petty comment there, Sean, just so you know. Richard Petty would actually just tell me the only way you would win a race if no one else shows up.
All right, buddy.
Well, the chances are pretty good. Are pretty good for a green-white checkered, though. I can say that much.
Oh,
did I say that word?
well, you know, I mean, okay, so it wouldn't be the worst thing that's ever happened, but I don't know. I think we got a chance to get restarted here and take it right to the checkers. I mean, we've had a situation here where kind of cautions have bred cautions. It's a little bit of a shame because the first two segments, of course, we went cautionless. But hey, man, 70 laps, it's a long stint to get through, man, with this field, and the lights are out on the pace car. So it's time. It's time to get this going again, and it's going to be a great battle. One we've kind of watching all night. It's going to be Farnyards and Elwood. David Washington right here in this mix. Richard Regan, who wasn't in this mix here in the first two stages, but he's been a real competitor here, and the playing field's somewhat level here at this point. They're all fighting with old tires. So here we go. The Ford Mustang pace car is off. Farnyards is on the pedal.
And look what I called out on Washington, just timing that restart with the leader perfectly, clearing Elwood. Now your focus is on Farnyards. Oh, there's a big mishap in the back.
Yeah, we had a car loose. Boy, I think it was Dylan Jones. It was Dylan Jones that was loose, but he saved it. There was a little bit of car contact back there. Boy, and Regan really, really fighting his car bad as Elwood trying to get around and is going to complete this pass. I think Regan is really, really struggling right now with those tires.
And they're really stacking up. I got to say about maybe sixth on back, or maybe seventh on back. They're really stacking up.
Yeah, Joe Owen just almost got into Wilsey. Wilsey had to check up behind the 4 of William Locklear. Up front, though, it's Farnyards, David Washington. Farnyards throwing the qualifying effort out the window tonight. Starting there in the back of the field in 16th. David Washington, he started on the front row right here in second. We know he's fast, so he gets a run there at Farnyards.
Man, this is going to be a battle for a top spot. 5 laps to go. Coming to 4 to go at the line. Farnyards, your race leader. Washington second. Washington trying to push the pressure on Farnyards. Can he get it done? Washington, you're doing exactly what I was saying. Oh, we got a car in the grass.
Keep it in the grass.
Yeah, that may have been Dylan Jones.
Locklear? I think it was Locklear?
No, it was Jones.
It was Jones. Okay. Boy, and you know what? Alan Elwood is not going to catch these guys now.
Battle for his top spot.
Washington going to the bottom. He's trying to take it away from Farnyards. He's going to do it. Oh, boy. They're going to come across the line with 2 to go. Elwood, or Washington.
Caution is out. The race, green, white, checkered. Dylan Jones is the reason for this yellow flag. Down in turns, I believe that's turn 3 and 4. Actually, on the back straightaway, excuse me. What happens off turn number 2 here?
Yeah, it looks like he might have gotten just a little bit of help there. We're going to watch it on the replay, and it brings out this unfortunate caution here. You said it. You should have been betting with you tonight. You said the chances were high. On board with Abraham. That's all right. We missed the onboard behind him, but really, what we got to talk about now is this green-white checkered here, Tanner. This will be my first one. I was not part of the last one, and so I feel like I missed out. Tonight, we get a chance at it.
Yep, this will be my second green-white checkered with these folks down here for AdPro Cup Series, and I tell you what, we're setting this one up. Maybe we were possibly setting it up for a photo finish had we stayed green, but I'll tell you what, we might be setting one up right here because you're only going to get 2 laps on a green-white checkered. It's going to be a 2-lap shootout, and it's between Farnyards and Washington. Elwood's doing a great job in hanging on to his spot where he's been practically in the top 5 all night with a couple miscues here and there, but he's on older tires though. But Washington did everything that I thought he would do.
Okay, so everybody's got to get lined up and get ready here.
Fireworks are up for a 2-lap shootout. This is pretty cool.
Okay, so everybody's got to get ready here because as soon as the pace car pulls off, we're green.
Here
then
we
we're
go.
White, and then we're checkered. And we're going to do it under the fireworks, folks. Here we go. Top 10 on their way. David Washington to the hammer. On it. Here comes Farnyards on the top side. They get one shot at it here. Oh,
they're wrecking in the back.
Regan's up the track and in the wall. Washington still holds on to the lead. Farnyard is going to look to the bottom. He can't get it. The door is shut. Washington on the power. He gets across the line. 1 lap to go. The white flag is out. David Washington with a huge run. Farnyard, Elwood is attacking, and then Elwood gets a little bit loose, loses that momentum he had. Farnyards, does he have anything left at him? I don't think so. Washington going to come across. He is going to win here tonight. 150 laps at Richmond Raceway. Farnyards had nothing left for him there at the end. Elwood going to come home in third. The AdPro Results Cup Series puts on another great race tonight here from Richmond. Tanner, what a finish. We have another successful green-white checker finish here.
That was a great finish there. I think Farnyards may have messed up his entrance to turn 1 that allowed a little bit of a better entrance for Washington, but fantastic finish. I feel bad for Farnyards. It's like juggling with a ball and you just drop it. You have it, you don't have it.
All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break here on the Global SimRacing Channel. Our winner, David Washington, burning him down up there on the start-finish line. We will be back in just a moment. Here we are back on the Global SimRacing Channel. You just saw 150 laps of greatness here at Richmond Raceway with the AdPro results 360 Cup Series. Let's give you those results here real quick. Now, we had a green, white, checkered finish. We don't have a graphic for you, so we're going to read these off here real quick. All right, your winner, of course, was David Washington. That was pretty clear. Oh, a great run for him tonight. Second place is going to go to Andrew Farnyars. He comes up just short of that hat trick this week. Third, going to go to Alan Elwood. What a hard-fought race for Elwood. He'll have to settle for third. Colton Salek is going to come up through the field. He's going to finish in fourth. The 24 of Joe Owen is going to manage a fifth-place finish tonight. Joe spent a lot of this race battling in the back of the pack. Gets a top 5 here for his effort tonight. Now, in sixth, it's going to be the 19 of Eric Stanford. All right, in seventh, it's going to be Mark Wilsey. In eighth, we are looking at the number 9 of Stephen Llewellyn. Now, folks, Stephen Llewellyn started this race all the way at the back. Didn't take qualifying time. Was a lap down at one point. Tanner, I know you remember that. He got his lap back and he finishes with a top 10, with a top 8. So great for him. Ninth, going to go to the 46 there, Richard Regan, and let's see, 20th, Ethan Moore, going to finish there in 10th.
Yeah, finishing in 11th, who did not take part of the green-white checkered, was Jeff C. Abraham in 11th, William Locklear in 12th, Judd Danielson will finish in 13th, Ellery Queen in 14th, Dylan Jones finishes 15th after having a good night, then turning into a disaster of a night. Top 15 for him, Kyle Kamer in 16th, Andrew Payne in 17th, Josh Bonwell in the 18th position. 19th, it will be Jeff Martin, and rounding out that top 20, Gary Sex.
Okay, now, quick update, okay, is that the 97 actually winds up 15th as a result of being the reason for that caution. So, we'll move Jesse Abraham down to 15th, and that'll shuffle the order. Everybody else will go 1 forward there. So, Tanner, again, a really, really great race where a little bit of strategy played out. We do have our third place finisher here with us, Alan Elwood. Alan, great race, man. You spent a lot of this race just battling for a position. What was that like? Are you just sitting in a pool of sweat right now?
Well, luckily I came into the race, I got my fan on me, so that nice. Cooled me off a little bit. But no, I just, it's the last few weeks coming in second so many times, and then tonight third. It's like, I know I'm fast, and I know I can, pretty much compete with those guys, but it's like something just happens during the race. It kind of just doesn't go my way. So I'm hoping one of these times it'll break through, and we'll, at least we got a stage win tonight. But overall, I mean, the battle between me and Andrew was intense.
Yeah, it was, man. I mean, really, one for the ages. I mean, you guys spent a lot of time next to each other, and we talked about this last week. I know a lot of you have been racing together for quite some time. It's got to feel pretty good. I listen. I race on the iRacing public service, just like everybody else does. And at times that can get a little sketchy. This has got to feel really good, though, to be able to race like that for so many laps.
Oh, it does, because just like you said, you go into an official race and you don't get that, because chances are within 5 laps you're probably going to be racing somebody side by side like that, unless you're racing a pro. But anyway, to race these guys just door to door, nonstop, inside outside is what it's all about. I mean, granted, we want to win, but as long as the racing is good, also it keeps your interest. That's really what it's all about. Why we're here.
Well, you guys have been on the 1.5 miles and the super speedways, and then you get here to Richmond tonight. What's the tricky part of this track? What challenges you the most here at Richmond?
About every corner. And people don't realize coming out of the corners, going down the back straight, especially the front straight, you're kind of on edge once you get older tires going all the way around the front stretch because of it being curved. And so, that adds to the level of intensity. But I think overall it's you carry so much speed around this place. It's like Phoenix, and you got to really dive it in and hope that it sticks near the yellow line. And at that point, then, you know, as long as you can keep that momentum up, and that's why those guys up front, David, especially Andrew, were really fast because they just had a little bit better than line than I did, and I just couldn't quite figure it out. So with the cars being kind of as tight as they are right now, it's a pretty big challenge.
Yeah. Well, and it doesn't get any easier because in a couple of weeks you got to go to Dover and you got to tackle the Monster Mile. What kind of thoughts do you have thinking about heading into that track?
I would say big junk on restarts and so some good side-by-side racing, but really Dover has gotten better since they implemented the track taking rubber and everything. So you can really run high-low in the middle for the most part. So I look for some good racing there, probably maybe even better than what we had tonight. And it's going to be a good show. It's fast. So.
Well, Alan, thank you. It's solid every week. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Well, give a shout out to myself, I guess. Elwood Designs. You know, anybody looking for an iRacing paint, I'm open for business. So, you know, let me know if you have anything out there you'd like. Performance Powder Coating does our powder coat for our go-kart that we run through the season. We're just starting up with that. So I'd like to thank them and you guys for putting on the broadcast and the race here tonight. It was great.
All right, Alan, one former karter to another. What division you run?
LO 206.
Okay. All right. And is that a shifter?
Nope, that's probably about as low as horsepower as you get, but we get about 45 carts out at Newcastle Motorsports Park in Indiana. So we're off there this weekend. See if it rains. If it doesn't, great. If it does, and we'll be at it. All
right. Well, great success to you, Alan, and thanks again for your time. Folks, that's Alan Elwood, driver of the number 5, the Elwood Designs Chevrolet. Congratulations to him. And boy, a little empty here in the interview booth this evening. Nobody wants to talk to us, Tanner. But share your thoughts here about that race that we've just wrapped up with.
I love watching Richmond races, even in the real life world, and also I love driving this racetrack. And what an interesting transition. You go to a track that's more of a rhythm race short track, then you go over to Dover to where your car's never even really, because even the straightaways are banked, and you got one of the toughest pit roads on a NASCAR oval. It's challenging, but I'm sure these guys can get it done. But we just seen a fantastic race tonight across the board.
Agreed. Well, it's time to put a pretty bow on it. Wrap this up here once again. Tanner, can't thank you enough for being on board, but you know what? We've got some other people to thank here, and we'll get to that now. We certainly want to thank our title sponsor, AdPro 360, adproresults.com. Folks, go check out AdPro Results. They can help you with a lot of needs. They are an advertising agency that specializes in digital and social media marketing. For more information, again, please visit their website, adproresults.com. We also want to thank the Simulated Stock Car Association for organizing the AdPro 360 Cup Series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast it. On the screen now are just some of the companies, equipment, and software that made this broadcast possible. The iconic original music that lets your ears alert your eyes you're watching a GSRC production comes courtesy of Eric Ekholm and Casey Lalonde. You can see there on screen how to get a hold of them, Tanner.
Yeah, and the SSCA Cup Series returns in 2 weeks, April 27th for Round 7 from the Monster Mile, Dover International Speedway. GSRC will be there to bring you all the action, and we hope you would join us. Flying across your screen right now are some upcoming broadcasts, so check those out and mark them down on the calendar. If you'd like to know more about GSRC, including a complete list of future broadcasts, you can find it all at www.globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel and on Facebook at Global SimRacing Channel.
All right, and folks, please subscribe if you're still here. Hit the subscribe button right now before you leave. If you're not subscribing to us, you're missing out on a lot because we've got a lot of races coming up here in the near future. And we thank you for your patronage. Now, finally, on behalf of the crew, Tanner Sharp, our director, Joe, Pete, our camera artist, Dougie Beard, I would like to thank every one of you for watching tonight. So until next time, for old buddy Soup. We're going to storm the castle, and I want all of you to race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.